Mwahaha. Welcome, everybody. Happy Halloween to those watching. Welcome to another episode of 2KU Saturdays. This is not on a Saturday, though. We are on a Monday tonight. Tonight's the night for some scary good game. For a scary good game, we got the Magnolia Bowl tonight. The Ole Miss Rebels heading down to Baton Rouge to take on the number 4 LSU Tigers. There's the notification. I already sent links before we started here. Let's get to our rosters before we get started. That was a good night. I went out and handed candy to kids in the neighborhood. We're gonna start with Ole Miss here. The Rebels are having a very tough season this year. Danny's picking the Tigers. I have to congratulate Danny. He got his first prediction right with Stanford, and then he got his second right with Georgia. I'm thinking that this is 3 in a row today. But let me pull up the Excel sheet. Put the mic in my hand for now. With the Ole Miss Rebels currently having a ghoulish season this year. They dropped 5 of their first 6. Their 2 wins coming against Arkansas and Auburn. A season topped off with a 4 overtime loss to the Citadel and a loss to FCS Kennesaw State. A very rough year. The exact opposite you can say for LSU, who has been easily rolling through their season. Currently seated at a 7-0 record entering this game. Let's get things started here with the Ole Miss roster. Their starting quarterback is true senior Joey Johnson out of Dyersburg, Tennessee. Their running back is senior from Zephyr Hills, Florida, Eric Brooks. Kirk Horn, a redshirt freshman from Cleveland, Tennessee, and Brandon Steele, a sophomore from Ultewa, Tennessee. Those are also big players on the running game. Doug Pearson, a redshirt junior from Orange Grove, Mississippi, is the fullback. At wideout, Tim Wright, a junior from Horn Lake, Mississippi. Nathan Baldwin, a redshirt junior from Flowood, Mississippi. Scott Johnson, a redshirt senior from Canyon Lake, Texas. Ryan Jones, a true freshman from North Chicago, Illinois. And Derek Holt, a junior from Center Point, Alabama. The tight end is Carlton Johnson, a freshman from First Colony, Texas. The left tackle, All-American redshirt senior from Waynesboro, Mississippi, David Rogers. The left guard is Brian Wilson, a junior from Waveland, Mississippi. The center, true senior from Griffin, Georgia, Vernon Elbert. And a right guard from Coleman, Alabama, the true senior, Keon Marquardt. At right tackle, wrapping up the O-line from Moreno Valley, California, redshirt senior, Justin Collier. On the defensive side, left end starting out is Clayton Lilly, a junior from North Gulfport, Mississippi. At right end is Lauren Green, a freshman from Atlanta. At defensive tackle is Ross Anderson, a sophomore from Tupelo, Mississippi. At D tackle, also at D tackle is Jamie Payne, a junior from East Point, Georgia. The left outside linebacker is Devin Holycross, a sophomore from Dock Junction, Georgia. The middle linebacker is Kevin Bowie, a senior, true senior from St. Cloud, Florida. And the right outside linebacker is Roderick Hall, a junior from North Fort Myers, Florida. On the corners, you have Kyle Rouse, a redshirt senior from Pinewood, Florida. Shannon Archie, a junior from Fulton, Mississippi. Blake Wolf, a junior from Canton, Mississippi. Rick Boyd, a senior from Vicksburg. And Chris Thornton, a redshirt freshman from Fair Oaks, Georgia. At free safety, you have Jason Davis, a sophomore from Fayette, Alabama. Vince Franklin, a junior from Van Cleve, Mississippi. Special teams, the kicker is redshirt senior Brian Wallace from Cleveland, Mississippi, and the punter is from Van Buren, Arkansas, redshirt senior David Clark. And now we'll move on to the home team and the favorites in this game, the LSU Tigers, number 4 team in the country. Starting quarterback is Rashad Robinson, a redshirt senior from Atlanta, Georgia. The halfback, an outskirt candidate for a Heisman Trophy, is Jesse Crawford, a sophomore from Gardere, Louisiana. Actually got to move up to the running back once again because James Collins is a senior from Shenandoah, Louisiana. He might get some carries as well. The fullback is Dan Gaither, a senior from Winder, Georgia. I moved the wrong thing here. The wide receiver is Jay Mitchell, a junior from Shreveport, Louisiana. Wesley Kelly is a junior from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Richard Perry, a senior from Apopka, Florida. And Derek Briggs, a senior from Carencro, Louisiana. The tight end is Dwight Carlson, a freshman from Kenner, LA, Louisiana. The left tackle All-American Demetrius Scott, a junior from La Rose, Louisiana. The left guard is Brian Lawson, a redshirt sophomore from Patterson, Louisiana. At center is David Williams, a redshirt junior from Marydale, Louisiana. At right guard, Ray Lane, a redshirt senior from Cahaba Heights, Alabama. And right tackle from North Druid Hills, Georgia, true sophomore Roger Smith. On the defensive side of the ball, left end, a junior from Berwick, Louisiana, Chris Richards. At right tackle, a freshman from Fairview, Tennessee, Josh Wright. On the D-line, Clint Mosley, a junior from Wagaman, Louisiana. And Zach Ralph, a redshirt junior from Kings Point, Florida. The left outside linebacker is Matt Hines, a sophomore from Tarrant, Alabama. Middle linebacker from Covington, Louisiana, redshirt senior, All-American Chris Henry. At right outside linebacker, senior from New Roads, Alabama, Derek Britt. Hit the wrong one again. At corner, Justin McLaughlin, a sophomore from Kingwood, Texas. Eddie Bain, a redshirt sophomore from Morton, Mississippi. Jamal Hayes, a true freshman from Franklinton, Louisiana. And Daryl Young, a redshirt freshman from Winfield, Louisiana. Free safety is a junior from West Monroe, LA, Louisiana. Brandon Anderson. At strong safety, Marcus Lloyd, redshirt senior from Socorro, Texas. And on special teams, the kicker is Broderick Palmer, a junior from Cedar Hill, Texas. And the Palmer was called upon to kick the game winner in the duel with Dave Show earlier this season. At punter, Julian Kirkpatrick, a redshirt sophomore from West Monroe, Louisiana. And there's your rosters. Let's get to this game now. The good old Magnolia Bowl. LSU, the home team. We're going to give them the purple jerseys, like you should wear when you're at home. And we're going to make this game a late night cool clash. Heavy rain is what we're going to see here. And let's get started here on Halloween night. We'll be talking about these games that happened on Monday. We have some that we're going to be simming after the stream here. We'll be talking about these games on next week's episode of 2KU Weekly. Don't forget to tune in for that. As we're ready for a torrential downpour in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, for this clash between the Ole Miss Rebels and the number 4 LSU Tigers. Of course, this is the Magnolia Bowl. LSU is not secure here. Ole Miss is historically known to pull off random upsets. Getting a stat update from Danny V here. LSU is number 2 in the country. He's number 2 in the SEC. He's number 2 in the SEC, pardon me. Average of 34.9 points per game. Ole Miss is 7th. They've been able to score here. This is, I believe that's Gibson. He's going to throw that one deep, and it's out of bounds. Greg Hines is the starting quarterback. I thought it was Joey Johnson. They're going with Hines instead, apparently. A bit of a QB controversy down there. Here's Hines. Greg Hines. He's going to be sacked. A loss of 4. That's Derek Britt with the sack. It'll be 3rd and 14 at the 21. What's helpful of playing at Tiger Stadium, the halfway lines are marked. The 5-yard lines are marked as well as the 10 ones. Listen to that crowd go. Oh, what a swat by Brandon Anderson. And that's a 3 and out. And here's the punt. Mitchell to return. Oh, and he's flattened where he stands. Jay Mitchell gets nothing on the return. Here comes Rashad Robinson. Probably a guy who should have been on that Heisman list I made last week. Crawford gets 4 on the play. Taking a look at defenses. LSU has the 2nd best defense in the SEC with 19.6 points per game. Ole Miss is near dead, is 2nd to last, allowing 34.6. As there's a first down for running back Jesse Crawford. The mascot is schmovin' for LSU, though. Ball at their own 49. Here's the keeper for Robinson. That'll get 8 yards. 2nd down and 2. On the edge of Ole Miss territory. Here's the handoff to Crawford. He'll be stopped before the 1st down. Bringing up 3rd and inches from the 41. Throwing this one over. Whoa, one-handed grab. Wesley Kelly for the 1st down. I don't know why it said user catch. That wasn't me. Out of curiosity, who is 12th in the SEC in scoring? I would think it'd be Vanderbilt. Handoff. Yo, look at this run. Still going. It'll be down. James Collins gets 16 yards on the play. I would assume first is Georgia Tech and last is Vanderbilt. Though I might be wrong. Keeper for Robinson. And it'll be roped down after a 3-yard gain. Ball at the 14-yard line, 2nd and 7. Last is Mississippi State, that's right. Here's the keeper, Robinson, brought down for a loss of 1. Shannon Archie, credited with a TFL. Vandy is 10th in defense. Robinson will back up, throwing on the slot, and they'll lose yardage. A loss of 5 on the play. The throw to Jesse Crawford. Best defense in the country is Georgia. 4th and 12, and they're going to try for a field goal to take the lead in this very muddy, rainy Tiger Stadium. Kicks on the way, and it's good. And the best offenses, or the best and worst offenses, Danny? Kick into the end zone, and they'll take a knee for touchback. LSU forced Ole Miss to a 3-and-out on the last drive. I expect Ole Miss to fall big here. Here's the handoff. Nothing. Eric Brooks will lose a yard. TFL goes to Marcus Lloyd. Should be a pretty easy. If you had to ask me, it'd be a pretty easy game for LSU, but on Halloween night, anything can happen. There's the handoff. Now I'll get 5. The best offense is Georgia Tech, which I figured. They have 37.5 points per game. Hines. Got to watch out for the pressure. He'll get a yard gained, but I'll still force 4th down. The sack really pushed him forward. That's a 2nd 3-and-out for Ole Miss. The worst offense is Mississippi State. That's a terrible team, that Mississippi State this year. Worst in offense and defense in the SEC. And there's a 12-yard return for Jay Mitchell. At the very least for us, for my Halloween, it cleared up after all the rain. Here's a keeper for Robinson. Stopped. That's going to be a sack. Credited to Ross Anderson. Ended up colliding there with the big man, number 94. Mm-hmm. And out of curiosity, best and worst offenses in the country. Robinson. Clearing up. Oh, what a sack! He goes upside down. Clayton Lilly completely decks him. Oh, what a hit. Does a complete Inversion. Robinson throwing this one over the middle. Caught. Dropped. Went through the hands of both an LSU receiver and an Ole Miss secondary member. And they'll have to punt it. There's a punt all the way into the end zone for a touchback. I love LSU having the split goalposts like that. I wish more teams did that. The best offense is Boise State. They have a 51.5 points per game average. Unreal to see a team score 50 per game on average. Here's a big run for a first down. Eric Brooks. There's the handoff and another big run past midfield over the eye of LSU. Eric Brooks gets 21. Pump fake. He'll heave this one on the right side. Out of bounds again. Hines has not completed a pass today. Very sloppy conditions might be to blame. Hines with time to throw. He'll throw to the right side. Intercepted, and he's got room to run. He's going to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, LSU. Daryl Young. Complete lane cleared, almost brought down there by the quarterback. But we get our second pick six of 2KU Saturdays. Our first was back in the game with UConn. That makes it a 10-0 game. A stat update from Danny B. The worst offense in the country is Eastern Washington. EWU, if you've been following along, is having a disastrous transition to the FBS level that they might end up undoing next season. They have the worst offense in the game, averaging 10.9 points per game, the lowest in the FBS. And if you look at their combined scores, the combined points against, that's combine their points for, their points against, they are negative 300 in the hole. There's a catch by Derek Holt for a 4-yard gain. This is about what I expected for LSU, a dominant performance that just took a little moment to come out. There's the handoff, and there's a first down to the 40. Kirk Horn gets 11. As for defenses, Danny? Looking over the field. He's got a man open. First down to the LSU 39. Ryan Jones. Ryan with an I. The best defense in the country is UConn with 14.25 points per game. That's insane. There's the option play. Keeper for Hines, and he's got room to run down to the 24. 2 seconds ago, this will likely be the end of the second quarter, or of the first quarter. They will get one more play off. Hines, time to throw. He'll throw this one. He's got a man. First down. Tim Wright. And that will be the end of your first quarter. 10-0 after one. There's the pick six by Young. I would assume the worst defense is Eastern Washington. But there's some other teams who have let a lot of points on them. Here's a throw to the sideline. Derek Holt. 2nd and 2 after the 8-yard gain. It would be incredible to see Ole Miss at least keep it close. Here's the keeper. There's a first down, but he's just short of the end zone. 5-yard gain. It'll be first and goal from about the 1-yard line. Option play. Here's the shovel pass. Touchdown, Eric Brooks. Ole Miss is on the board. After a methodic drive, the Rebels are now only down 4. They'll be down 3 with the PAT. The worst defense is Eastern Washington. They have allowed 50.3 points per game. Here's a 10-7 game. We'll have to check in with those points per game totals later on in the year. There's the handoff to Crawford. He's stuffed. Roderick Hall credited with the TFL. Robinson with time to throw. He's got a man in wide open. Wesley Kelly gets 7 yards. 3rd and 4. Robinson is 3 for 4 for 11 yards. LSU 1 for 3 on 3rd down. He'll throw this one. Oh, and he stopped. Brian Neal with the reception. Completely stuffed by the Ole Miss secondary. Kirkpatrick will punt this one. Punts deep across the field. It will be caught at the 25, taken to the 30. He'll be tripped up to the 40. John Brandt on the return. And LSU's defense comes onto the field. They just let up a touchdown. But they've scored a touchdown as well. Here's Hines. Play action. Throwing this one over to Nathan Baldwin for the first down. Ole Miss's offense surprisingly well performing surprisingly well today. We could see some shakeup in the top 25. Oh, look at that block! There's a first down inside the 30, down to the 28. What I was saying, this game's results and all the Monday results won't be put into effect until next week's poll. As here's a throw into coverage, it's caught for a 7-yard gain. Scott Johnson on the reception, his first of the game. Greg Hines is 6 for 10. Not a lot of passing on this game. It would be a big story if Ole Miss was able to pull this off. And there's a first down for Eric Brooks. He's got 59 yards on the ground and the 1 touchdown of this game for LSU, or for Ole Miss, pardon me. Hines, hand off to Brooks. Will only get a yard. Hines with time, but he's going to get sacked. A loss of 7. Chris Richards with the sack. The big man, number 59. Oh, no, and he's down. He's injured. In comes Joey Johnson. Joey Johnson, the higher overall. Pressure. He's going to have to run for his life, and he'll be brought down for a loss of 11. Chris Richards again. 2 sacks, 2 plays. restraint pack. He will return soon, thankfully. And they're going to kick it from way out. A 51-yard field goal is good. And this game is tied. Deep into the second quarter, 2:59 to go in the half. Both teams with all their timeouts. We are knotted even at 10. Ole Miss surprisingly holding their own in this game, as there's a gain of 3 for Crawford. Ole Miss, remember, only 2 wins on the year. And for LSU, you can't trip yourself up on a team like the Rebels when you have Georgia Tech still on the schedule in week 11. Robinson throwing for a first down. Richard Perry gets the 7-yard gain. Handoff. Oh, a hurdle. That'll only be a yard gain. Timeout, Tigers. Second and 9. Pocket collapsing. Robinson will throw it up there. Oh, what a catch by Wesley Kelly for a huge first down. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, throws it up. Oh, you got mossed. Mossing three defenders to get the first down. Something new for the sheet. Do tell. Because here's 5 wide for LSU. Robinson with time to throw, throwing in the middle. Caught. Richard Perry gets 8. Ball at the 37, first down at the 35. Blake Wolf got the tackle. That's 6th today, and it's only the first half. There's Robinson throwing again. Heaves this one to the sideline, incomplete. He's 7 of 9 for the day. LSU third down. They're 2 and 5 today. Here's a handoff to Crawford. That'll give him a first down. 6-yard gain. We're seeing each conference. Interesting. Here's 1st and 10. This is about what I expected from LSU, methodically clawing their way through the Ole Miss defense. Here's Robinson. Heaving this one in the end zone. Intercepted. And it'll be brought down for a touchback. Number 21. That's Archie. Green is good, red is bad. That is true. Here's Hines back in the game, throwing this one up there. Incomplete, deflected by Justin McLaughlin. Here's a throw on the screen. That'll get 9 to Kirk Horn. 3rd and 1. Clock's ticking in the second. Only 8 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the half. They're going to heave it. No, they'll just run it. First down, and that's the end of the first half. Eric Brooks gets 4 yards on the play. And at the end of the first, this game is tied. 10-10 at the half. An unbelievable game for Ole Miss. Maybe it's something disastrous for LSU. You can't let a game slip like this when you still have a team you could consider one of the toughest in the conference still on the schedule. Oh, there's a big sack on Rashad Robinson. That might be. I would think that sack might end up in my top plays at the end of the year that we've seen in this series. 77-45. Ole Miss leading pass yards and rush yards. 74-46. LSU leads time of possession. Both teams tied with a turnover apiece. LSU got that pick six. Ole Miss nabbed one in the end zone. We've done what we can do here at halftime. Time to get you back out in the second half. We'll keep an eye on everything going on in college football. Brett Nessler and Kirk Herbstreit ready for the ball. We're back in the second half. This one, LSU gets the ball back. This ball gets to about the 19-20 or the 23, as we are in the Magnolia Bowl, one of the SEC's most treasured rivalries. Here's 1st and 10. Handoff to Crawford. That'll get a yard. 24 rushing yards on the day. Ole Miss a big lead in total yards. There's the draw play to Crawford. That'll only get a yard again. Here will be 3rd and 7. Stepping back, he'll throw short on the slot, and that'll be, oh no, he sheds the tackle and he's still going to the 41. 15-yard gain for Crawford. That looked like it was going to end up being a disaster. Crawford, you see, just sheds the tackler easily and gets a second tackler shed, a third, and then he's finally pushed out of bounds. Here's 1st down from the 41-yard line. Another handoff to Crawford. Oh, he's got room to run. He's got a wide open hole. 15-10-5, touchdown LSU. Great blocking, and that's all he needed. He was gone. I don't know where he went. There he is. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Well, uh-oh. That's not good. Delay of game, I guess. They will take a 5-yard penalty on the PAT. This probably won't mean anything, though, as Palmer will kick it through. Broderick will kick it through, and good. 17-10 in spite of the 5-yard penalty. There's a deep kick into the end zone. It'll be kneeled for a touchback. Here's 1st and 10. Hines throwing over the middle for 7-yard gain to Eric Brooks. Hines is 8 for 13. He left the game for a little while with an injury. He's back now. There's a good catch on the sideline by Ryan Jones. They're running the hurry up. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 36. Option keeper for Hines. He's got room to run. He'll be just short of the first. He'll get a 9-yard gain out of it. 2nd and 1 from the 44, 45-yard line. As the eye of the Tiger looks on. Oh, and there's a stop. A loss of 1. Brandon Anderson credited with the TFL. Third and 2 from the 47. Absolutely deafening crowd here. Handoff. Powering his way. He's got it. Brooks gets just enough for the first down. Keeper for Kelly on the option. And he's got room to run. 35, 30, 25 down to the 23-yard line. 31-yard run for the quarterback. Another option keeper. And that'll be a 9-yard gain for Hines. There's the handoff. First down, he'll be brought down to the 9-yard line. Kirk Horn on the run. The best scoring teams are both in the Mountain West. Boise State and TCU are the top 2 scoring teams. Those teams collide in week 12, I believe. There's the handoff. Brandon Steele will get 4. Just over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line for LSU, for Ole Miss, pardon me. There's the handoff, just short. 3-yard gain for Steele. 3rd and goal. Absolutely deafening crowd, pouring rain. Option play, stuffed. Greg Hines will lose 3. Nick Lowe gets the TFL. And there's an injury again. This is to... We'll have to see who that was. I believe it was Hines once again who got injured, and they're going to try the field goal. They kicked the 51-yarder earlier. This one's a much more reasonable kick, and it's good. It's now a 17-13 game. Here's the return man to the 29, all the way down to the 30. Jay Mitchell with a good return. Oh, look at all that mud on that uniform. Keeper for Robinson. He'll be brought down for a gain of 7. Quarterback keeper. He'll get to the 45. 7-yard gain and a first down. LSU only 8 first downs. Ole Miss has had 15. Run for Crawford. That'll be a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3 from around midfield. 3 weeks. Hines will be out. Here's the quarterback run. Only a yard to gain for Robinson. Kevin Bowie got the tackle. This should be an easy first down for LSU. 3rd and 2. And there it is. Just enough. 4-yard gain. Inside the Ole Miss 45. As Daniel will give us the upcoming schedules for both teams. There's the handoff to Crawford. Sheds one tackle. He can't shed the other. 4-yard gain for the running back. .30 seconds to go in the third. Robinson rolling. He'll heave this one out of bounds. As we look at Ole Miss's next schedule, they play at Vanderbilt, then Florida, Tulane, and then at Mississippi State for the Egg Bowl. I would argue all those games are winnable for the Rebels, especially with how well they performed here. Robinson stepping way back, pressured, sacked. Down to midfield. The big man, Ross Anderson, brings him down. That's his second sack of the day. LSU, of course, they play at Mississippi State, and then their big test at Georgia Tech. They also have Auburn and Tulane. They're going to punt here. They have the lead. Punt will pin them to about, I'd say, the 25-yard line, but that'll be the end of the third quarter. 17-13 the score after a big run for Jesse Crawford. Can LSU hold on? The last time the top 5 changed was when Baylor dropped out of it. Second and 12. Throwing on the screen. And it'll be brought down for a gain of nothing. 3rd and 12. A crucial drive for Ole Miss. I'd argue this crowd, this stadium, and these conditions make it impossible for a third down conversion. Can they do it here on a screenplay? He's got room to run. It'll be just short. 4th and 2. And they'll punt it with just over 5 minutes to go in the game. They have all 3 timeouts. 17-13 the score. Punts away. Deep punt. Taken to the 10. And it'll be wrestled down to about the 17. LSU can clinch the SEC West with an Auburn loss any point in the season. Pressure coming. He'll throw this one. He steps out of bounds after a 2-yard gain. Crawford on the reception. He would have had a first down. There was plenty of room. Rashad Robinson is 9 for 13 on the day. 228, 921. Ole Miss has the edge on passing yards. Crawford throwing over the middle. Wide open first down for Wesley Kelly. If you've been paying attention to 2K Weekly, you would know that we already had one team clinch a division so far. That was North Texas in the Sun Belt West. Here's the run for Robinson. That'll get 5 yards. Down to the 46. Robinson looked like he was injured, but it seems to be nothing important. Robinson heaving this one over the middle. Intercepted. And he'll take it to the 31. A momentum shift. Jason Davis is the one who got the pick. .401 to go. Ole Miss is down 4. Here's Joey Johnson throwing over the middle, wide open to the 35, down to the 33. Scott Johnson on the reception. The Johnson brothers, Scott Johnson, Joey Johnson. Get the connection. Option play. Ball is loose. They'll fall on top of it. That almost was disastrous, but it'll end up a moot play. 2nd and 10. A disastrous option play. They'll try another. The run will only get 2. Joey Johnson, a 2-yard gain. Ball at the 31. 3rd and 8. They're going 5 wide. They're going to, if you ask me, they might try for the end zone. Here's a heave to the sideline. Caught. That'll get 5. It'll be 4th and 3. Tim Wright with the reception, and they're going to go for it. It's a 3-yard play. Either you have a chance to win it or the game ends here. The run, it's stopped. Eric Brooks gets stuffed. Number 94 once again. Ole Miss has all 3 timeouts, but so does LSU. A first down, like that one, may seal this game. 2:50 to go, as they're into clock running mode. As a hard-fought win in the rain, Ole Miss. LSU looks like they're about to survive a scare. But it's not official yet. Heaves this one to the sideline, incomplete. 2:11 to go. Ball at the 38. Second down and 10. He'll step back, throwing on the slot. That'll lose 4. Timeout, Ole Miss. 3rd and 14. This is where your defense needs to come in clutch. Pressure coming. He'll throw on the screen, and he'll get stopped after a yard gain. Timeout, LSU. They're going to punt it. New life for the Rebels. 2:02 to go. Taking to the 25. Got room around the corner. He'll be pushed out at the 40. There's a flag, though. Holding on the receiving team. Ole Miss will be pushed back to their own 26. 1:53 to go. 1 timeout remaining. They can't kick the field goal. New teams joining the league. I'll check those out at the end of the stream. I'll be in call with you. Here's the quarterback keeper. He's got room up the middle to the 45. 18-yard gain for Joey Johnson. There's the handoff on the draw, but that'll lose yardage. A loss of 2 for Eric Brooks. 2 TFLs today for LSU defender Chris Henry. 2nd and 12, they'll spike the ball. Ole Miss is a dreadful 2 of 8 on third down. You need it here. Pressure. He's sacked. Loss of 10, 4th and 22. And now you have no choice. You got to go for it. They tried before. They were stopped just short. It's a 4th and 22. Either it goes or it doesn't. Pressure. He's sacked, fumbled. That's the dagger. LSU is going to survive. An upset scare on Halloween. Ole Miss only has one timeout. And they'll take that timeout. 1:04 to go. As there's the run for Crawford. That's a touchdown. That makes it a 10-point game. Ole Miss will get a chance to get the ball back, but this is likely a done deal. You would need 2 scores to come back in this one. 24-13. LSU. They're going to take it from their own end zone. Oh, what a hit at the 15. Ryan Jones was on the return. A dominant defensive performance today by LSU. 5 sacks for the Tigers. Pressure coming. He'll throw short on the screen. That'll only be a gain of 3 for Horn. As the nightmare season continues for the Rebels. A 2 for 9 third down conversions. Third down conversion percentage. There's a heave to the sideline, incomplete. 40 seconds on the clock. Ole Miss has not converted a 4th down. They had 2 attempts. They were close to getting one earlier, but they were stopped just short. Throwing this one over the middle. That's a 1st down. Carlton Johnson with his first reception. But I'm afraid it might be too little too late. Heaving this one over the middle. Intercepted. There's the dagger. 3 turnovers for Ole Miss. Matt Hines. With the interception, that is the deal break. That's all she wrote from Baton Rouge. They'll take a knee as Ole Miss fought their hardest, but LSU remains unbeaten on Halloween. They were pushed to the brink, but the Tigers get the win. 24-13, the final score. There's the play of the game, the pick 6. LSU's first touchdown of this game. Rashad Robinson, of course, celebrating. LSU came so close. Ole Miss came so close. Jesse Crawford, 2 touchdowns, 130 yards, 17 carries in this game. And for LSU, their focus now shifts to Georgia Tech. 2 weeks from now, they have a tune-up game against Miss State to see how well their offense, just to see if there are any kinks in the offense that probably had to have been ironed out here. As for Ole Miss, the loss tonight means that they are not going bowling. LSU improves to 8-0 on the year. All they're waiting for right now is an Auburn loss to clinch their division. Ole Miss would need to win out to make a bowl. As we take a look. Not the highlights. We'll take a look at the game stats in this one. Rashad Robinson, not a great passing day for any team. 12 for 18, 79 yards, 2 picks. As for Ole Miss, the starter Greg Hines left the game with an injury. He'll be out 3 weeks. He'll be returning for their matchup against Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl. He was 9 for 14, 87 yards, and a pick. Joey Johnson came in to replace him. He was 6 for 8 for 64 yards. We'll look at the rushing game. That was a lot more successful. Eric Brooks had 64 yards. Greg Hines himself had 55. LSU's Jesse Crawford had 130 on the game. Robinson had 17, and James Collins got 16. Not a lot to say receiving. Wesley Kelly had 52 yards. Richard Perry had 15, and Jesse Crawford had 9. Brian Neal got 3. For Ole Miss, Scott Johnson got 42 yards. No one else got above 25. Ryan Jones had 24. The longest reception was a 35-yarder. For both teams, that was the longest reception. Defensively, though, that was where our team shined. 9 solo tackles for Derek Britt. Total tackles led by him. Marcus Lloyd had 8. 7 for Chris Henry. 5 for Anderson and Young. Looking at sacks, Chris Richards, number 59, had 2, as did Derek Britt. Chris Henry had a sack as well. 2 picks, 1 for Matt Hines, and the pick 6 for redshirt freshman Daryl Young. Looking on Ole Miss's side of the ball, Shannon Archie had 3 tackles. Blake Wolf was the leader with 9 tackles on the day. Kevin Bowie had 5. Clayton Lilly, Roderick Hall, Devin Holycross, Jason Davis, Vince Franklin, and Shannon Archie all had 3. We did end up getting 2 sacks for Ross Anderson and 1 for Clayton Lilly. 2 interceptions on the day, 1 for Shannon Archie and 1 for Jason Davis. One final look at the team stats, 13-24. 18 first downs to 11. Ole Miss had more offensive yardage, but they couldn't make big first downs when they really needed to. LSU came back in terms of total rushing yards. Ole Miss had 130. LSU ended up with 163. Passing, both teams were not very good. 15 for 22, 12 for 18, LSU couldn't even get 100 passing yards. They had 79. Ole Miss had 151. Both teams are really bad on third down, 2 for 10 and 5 for 10. Ole Miss had 4 fourth down conversions. They were 1 for 3. The red zone, both teams were 100% in terms of scoring. 5 total turnovers. Ole Miss had 3. LSU had 2. 1 lost fumble. That pretty much sealed the game. 2 interceptions for both teams. In terms of time of possession, LSU came back. LSU had dominated all game. And that will wrap us up here. LSU gets a big win at Swampy Tiger Stadium. We saw the first downs, rushing yards, passing yards, turnovers, and TOP. Your players of the game, Jesse Crawford had 17 carries, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Derek Britt had 9 tackles, 3 TFLs, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. Eric Brooks had 12 carries for 64 yards, a touchdown, 3 receptions for 17 yards as well. Jason Davis had 3 tackles and a pick. And my big pick will definitely be Derek Britt as player of the game. The forced fumble really sealed the game when that came around. We're going to wrap this up here. I hope you all had a great Halloween. Thank you all for watching today's episode. We'll be back on Saturday with Stanford USC, a marquee matchup in the Pac-10. Thank you all for watching. I will be in call once this stream ends. Don't forget to join our Discord. Thank you all for watching. We will see you on Saturday. Happy Halloween.